Kevin Gordon here from AutoSavant.com with your February 16th edition of the Afternoon Commute. A couple things to go through today, starting with a post that popped up on e30post.com, which is a BMW enthusiast internet forum. And what it was about was a dyno run that was done to a brand new BMW 328 with the N20 engine designation. So it's their new twin scroll 2-liter turbo. And what it was about fundamentally is the fact that it seems like BMW once again has underrated another one of their turbocharged engines. So, off the top of my head, I think that car's supposed to be rated like 240 horsepower, 260 torques at the flywheel, and it came in something like almost 230 horsepower and 240 torques, and forgive me, going off of memory, at the rear wheels. So, what the dyno's reading at the rear wheels is a highly debatable topic, depending on the algorithms that are in the dynos, the type of dynos, all that kind of stuff, and didn't really dig into what kind of dyno they're using. But I wouldn't really find this surprising. These new turbocharged engines are reasonably easy to underrate, and having a very strong one come out that may produce more horsepower than it's rated really wouldn't be all that tough. So it seems like that new 328 engine actually is going to be a pretty impressive thing, and people seem to be getting good 0 to 60 times out of it and good economy. So that small engine in your 3 Series may not be a penalty going into the future. Next up, Ford, talking about Mustangs, as I seem to manage to fit in almost every day. So in the Sports Illustrated swimsuit edition, which nobody's cared about since before the internet was invented, but this year they care about it because of the lovely Kate Upton, which I will show to you here. Well, since it's actually worthwhile to advertise in Sports Illustrated swimsuit edition this year, Ford has an ad for a Mustang with a female model in it who you can't quite see her face. And in the ad, there's a URL for what would you suppose to be her website with more modeling pictures from her. Well, when you go there, you get a bunch more pictures of a, leggy model wearing heels that you could never actually drive a manual Mustang in. But you never really see a picture of her face. And it turns out that she is a created thing by an ad agency. So interesting advertising technique by Ford there. Everybody at this point is trying to get something to go viral, and it's an interesting attempt. I haven't really seen it catch on outside of the automotive industry at this point, but it's got me talking about it, so good on you, Ford. Number 3 today, more Tesla Motors news. So, oh man, what's the guy's name? Elon Musk, which I think is something that you might get if you don't shower for a few days. Elon Musk, who's the CEO of Tesla Motors, said they plan to sell 5,000 Model S editions of the Tesla in 2012. Great, good for him. The catch here is the fact that during the earnings call, he said that they plan to give them to the customers to perfect before they give them to automotive journalists. So does that mean that now when you buy an electric car, it's a beta version. You know, it's going to be like a new version of Microsoft Office. It's going to have big security holes in it that need to be figured out by the customers. And understand, I'm actually a Microsoft fan, so forgive me for picking on them. But that's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. I mean, you should be crucified for that. But, you know, if people sign up for them and buy them, I guess it works. Moving on to Porsche. So Porsche has officially confirmed what everybody already knew, the fact that there will be a smaller SUV than the Cayenne, to be named, what in the world is it going to be called? Everybody thought it was going to be called the Cajun. Oh, it's going to be called the Macan, which is an Indonesian word for tiger. Expected to be based off of the upcoming platform that will also sell as a Audi and a Volkswagen. You know, initial video renderings are out about it, and I'm sure they'll sell a bunch of them because the Cayenne's proven that, you know, Porsche steering away from its core competency sells them a lot of models and makes them a lot of money. And to wrap up the day, J.D. Power yesterday came out with their annual dependability study. Who's topping the list again? Lexus, knocking Lincoln out from last year. They had a very good year. Who didn't have a very good year? Chrysler. So what makes a good and a bad year? Well, the average for the industry this year is 132 problems reported by the people surveyed per 100 cars. So it means that, you know, a person in a year of ownership with their car is on average having more than one problem a year. If you drive a Lexus, you have far less than one a year. And if you drive a Chrysler, they reported 189 problems a year per 100 cars. So it looks like you're likely to spend some time in the service department of your local Chrysler dealership. And considering the fact that the Gordon family just bought a brand new Chrysler Town & Country, we'll see how true that comes for us. The good news for the entire industry is sort of across the board, cars are getting to be more reliable, which is pretty impressive considering the pressures to continue to shove more and more electronic systems into cars. It might have something to do with platform sharing and, you know, them getting better at packaging option groups together to be able to have things that they sell across more of their cars. You know, it's the common example of the reason that it's not worthwhile to sell a cheaper car without power windows is it would be a tooling for a new thing, and you know, just shoving power windows into them is actually less expensive than making a roll-up set. So that's what I had for the day. Your February 16th edition of the Afternoon Commute. I'm Kevin Gordon, and I look forward to talking to you tomorrow.